Welcome back to my channel, and yes, Leech here. Thank you for your comment. I will continue reviewing Phantom Seer. Here's chapter 2. Thank you so much for commenting in one of my videos, Leech here. If you are wanting me to return a series that I maybe reviewed only one chapter, one volume, two volumes, maybe I reviewed 6 volumes but never finished the series, let me know. Comment in those videos. I will return with some series. There's just so much to review that sometimes I lose track of stuff. And sometimes I do read past, I just don't review it. This is actually one that I read the chapter, part 2, or chapter 2, but never actually reviewed it. So yeah, anyways, here I am reviewing it. I had to reread it to make sure I know what was going on. But before anything, if you have not done so by now, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Yesterday was a packed full day of just reaction behind reaction videos. So if you haven't seen any of my reaction videos, Friday is my reaction day. I posted, I think, 5 reactions yesterday. So go check those out. Also, there's a quite good video of me and my wife trying Russian snacks. The first time that my wife has ever been in my channel. So if you haven't seen that video yet, go watch it too. I'll make sure to direct you that way as well after this video. Okay. Chapter 2 is very much continues the story, but it kind of sets a feel of how I guess each chapter it's gonna be, and essentially it's gonna be they're gonna be helping classmates or maybe random people outside of school, but it looks like they're gonna be stuck in school for the most part with evil spirits that are haunting them. Now, our protagonist Riku, she feels that most of these spirits are there because of her. Again, she has been told that she attracts evil spirits because she has this vessel of a body that is perfect to be possessed. I don't know how people have some perfect and some don't, but apparently she does. And she's told that she needs to be careful. So Riku is definitely watching her back in all this. Um, Iori, or Katanaji, we see him again in this chapter. He's very much the same character as in the first chapter. He just doesn't care. He actually intentionally forgets his phone, leaves it at home, so his sister doesn't keep bugging him about helping her out, helping Riku out. And eventually, his sister is able to contact him through Riku's phone, and Katanaji again is like, "Okay, I'll help you if you want." And Riku is essentially speaking to him like, what's going on, what's happening, what's all this that it doesn't really sound too real to her yet, even though she saw spirits the day before. In all this conversation, there is a girl that comes in, and this basically lets me know that this is going to happen very often. We're going to get a little bit of character buildup of Riku and Katanaji because of little missions or little episodes that they're helping their classmates with, and we learn more about them in that matter. They help this classmate who is in Katanaji's classroom, and with a conversation that she has with Riku after they stopped helping her, she basically tells Riku that she kind of never feels like he's there. Now, this is a key point because then it helps us understand his power towards the end of the chapter. But she says, sometimes I know he's there, but he's not there. So it's kind of hard to acknowledge him. It's like the first time that I saw him talk a lot, and I think he only spoke like twice in that conversation. But she says, wow, it's the first time I hear him talk a lot, which tells you a lot about his character in his classroom, how he is as a persona outside of, I guess, our main story between him and Riku. Because between him and Riku, he talks a lot. He really does. The girl essentially asks for help because she finds herself walking to a classroom and not knowing why she's there. She sometimes loses all control and then wakes up and she's in front of this classroom. And the day before, what happened was she walked to the classroom and there was a mouth. The doors were open. There was a darkness and there was a mouth in it. So they're walking with her after school, and essentially they say, "Okay, we'll see you tomorrow." I guess nothing happened. And as Riku and Katanaji are talking, Riku notices, "Hey, wait, we're walking home," but she started walking back to the school. So they go back and follow her, and essentially there's a spirit who has taken control of her, and now she is captured. A lot happens, but two key points in this rescue mission that happens. One, Riku tries to sacrifice herself. She says, "Okay, I'll go in as a bait, and you attack him while he's distracted with me." And Katanaji is furious at that idea. He's like, one, he says, I'm annoyed with people because of this. I try to explain a plan and they don't listen. They want to go their way when there's clearly another way. And he then explains to her or says this phrase of you should never sacrifice yourself as basically your first choice. And then secondly, we find out is his powers. He essentially explains to her that he is able to control shadows, and because he's able to control shadows, he can control his own shadow so much that his presence is basically not there. And she notices that if she loses focus on him, she can't see him. And he goes into the room, and he's not the spirit doesn't notice him at all. So we learn that from previous parts of the chapter, and now this scene, that his power basically is to control his own shadow in a way that he can be stealth. He can sneak up people without them noticing. But then I'm also interested in what he can do with controlling someone else's shadow. Like if he can control Riku's shadow. Now, I'm not going to get there because I'm sure the series will eventually explain it to us. But that essentially is his power, and we're seeing how he basically is pretty strong for it. He is able to control this one evil spirit that helps him, and now he's able to control shadows. That's two pluses. Now, they eventually, after a few events, and I'm not going to explain everything because I want you guys to read the chapter. They eventually defeat the evil spirit, and they go in their own ways. And Riku has a conversation with Katanaji's sister through the phone while he's fighting still, and she explains to Riku that he essentially had a friend that sacrificed themselves, and ever since then he hasn't been the same. And essentially she doesn't know a lot of the details, but all she knows is that it wasn't good. That in a nutshell is chapter 2. Again, it gives us a lot of character build-up in between of a kind of mission story. I'm interested if this is how it's going to be every single chapter, because if it is, and then it's easy to review that way. One, but two, it doesn't throw you a whole long story from the beginning. There's some mangas, and I'm not going to say these mangas are bad because I actually do like some of them, and I think one of them is right behind me. Hell's Paradise. Hell's Paradise is an example of that. They give you the protagonist's story right off the bat from the beginning. And in fact, I think they take like 2 chapters explaining his entire story, background story, which is great. It's sometimes you do need it like that, but they go and mention it so much throughout the manga itself. It makes me wonder if they just couldn't split it out into pieces and make the reader think, man, this guy is a maniac, and then understand eventually after 20 chapters, oh, this is why he's a maniac, right? Because we get the background story. But no, Hell's Paradise decides to do it right off the beginning, whereas this one, we have this very laid back character, Katsunaji, and he seems like he doesn't care, but deep down, he has to care because he still defeats the evil spirits. He still is a shaman. He still has some power of his own. So it makes you wonder, what is his story? And I think that in itself, as a reader, it attracts me to want to read more because I want to learn who this guy is per se. Now, the girl herself might have some secrets behind her, and we eventually will find out. But in reality, the story, the intriguing part of the entire story right now falls on the guy, Katanaji. So, anyways, out of 10, I'm going to give this one a 7.5. It is in Shonen Jump. Go check it out. I believe they have 9 chapters now out. So I'll continue reviewing as fast as possible. Yeah, we'll see what happens in the next chapter. Thank you guys so much for your love and support. Go subscribe, comment, like, and share. Thank you so much for getting me to my monthly go. Tomorrow is a new month. I will announce the giveaway winners and also get ready for the next monthly go. Thank you guys for your support and love. And like always, don't be strangers. See you guys.